One of the harder things on our bodies is the fact that we sit for 7 to 8 hours at a desk doing work. Now, most of us have desk jobs and that's just unavoidable, but doing daily movements multiple times a day to kind of combat that tightness, that pain that you get from sitting is key. Here's a quick 5-minute mobility routine that you can do from your desk chair, and you don't need much in the way of equipment. Okay? And I always say this one thing that everyone should have is just a TheraBand sitting at their desk. Okay? So first movement, we're focusing on our thoracic spine. Okay? We're going to work on that rotation. We're actually going to add in a bit of a band pull apart as well to get those back of the shoulders firing up. So you're going to have the band in front. You're going to lock one hand. So my left hand's going to stay locked. I'm going to open up my chest with my right hand. Okay? So pulling out with my right, opening up, looking to the right, coming back in, pin that right hand, open it up to the left, rotate that chest out, back in. Slow and controlled. You're going to go for about 30 seconds to a minute, going back and forth. Okay, so that's working on a rotation. Okay, second movement's working on extension. Okay, a lot of times we're like this, so we want to open up that thoracic spine. So if you can, have a foam roller with you. You're going to throw it on the back of your chair in line with that mid-back. Okay? You're going to put your hands on your shoulders. You're going to scoot your butt forward a little bit on your chair. Hands on your shoulders. Okay? You're going to take one deep inhale. And you're going to arch over that foam roller. And exhale. Okay? And you can adjust the foam roller to where you feel it the most. Inhale. Arch. Look up to the ceiling, exhale, come back down. So again, we're going to do this for about 30 seconds to a minute. Inhale, exhale. Okay, so we got a rotation and our extension. Third one is opening up our shoulders. Okay, we're sitting at a desk typing. We want to get our shoulders open and mobile. Okay, so what we're going to do is called handcuffs. So you're going to lift your hands up into the air. You're going to bring it behind your neck. Trying to drive your elbows away. Right? So we're opening up that chest. Then you're going to bring it up, opening it up to the side, around, rotate your hands, come back behind your back, slide it up as far back up the back you can, and then you're going to squeeze those shoulder blades together. From this position, you're going to come back around, you're going to kick them out, roll them up, reach them up into the air, bring them back behind your head, slide them down the shoulders as much as you can. Bringing the elbows back as much as you can. Slide it up, open, slide it back around, and then retract the shoulder blades, bring those elbows together, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Okay? So we've hit our thoracic spine, rotation, extension, hitting our shoulders. Now we want to get our hips. Okay? One of the main things that we get tight is kind of in that back of our hip, our glute med area. Okay, so real simple one, it's called the figure 4. You're going to get that foot up on top of that knee. You're going to stay tall with your chest. Okay? You're going to actively push this knee down. You're going to get that nice deep stretch into the glute. Okay? Tall with the chest, you're going to lean forward. And then from here, you're going to lift that heel on that bottom foot. It's going to get a nice deep stretch. You're going to lean forward. I'm going to do some exhales and inhales. Getting deeper each time. Again, holding for about 30 seconds to a minute on each side. Okay? So we got the hips. Okay? Now when we're sitting, we're really shortened in that front. Okay? We don't have much hip extension. We're in that flexed position. We get really tight in our hip flexors. That can lead to low back pain. So my favorite is our couch stretch. So you're going to pop down onto one knee. You're going to tuck that pelvis, engage that hip flexor. Okay, you're going to take a deep inhale. You're going to try to drive that back foot into the bench. Release. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. The breathing also helps us de-stress if you're going through a stressful day or you just had a shitty meeting with a boss. Getting down on the floor, getting in that couch stretch and just resetting can help alleviate some of that stress that we have throughout the day. And if you can't get down onto the ground, you can get into a standing hip flexion, or hip extension, sorry. So you're going to get into a split stance. You're going to have that back foot. You're going to tilt that pelvis. You're going to engage that hip flexor, and then you're going to take that same hand and reach it up and across. You're going to get that nice stretch from the hip flexor up into that kind of midsection. Okay. Again, deep inhales, exhales. Again, we're going to go for about 30 seconds to 60 seconds. Okay. Quick 5-minute mobility routine. You can do it right from your chair, multiple times a day. This can definitely help you alleviate a lot of the pains that happen from sitting at a desk for so long. Try it out. See if it makes you feel better.